Hey there, it's me Sarah here from Wholesale Ted, one of the largest YouTube channels dedicated to giving you actionable advice on how to build a real online business. And today, well, you only have to read the title of this video. I've had a lot of people ask me about this, and as it's International Women's Day this Friday, I thought that I would address the elephant in the room. Because some of my subscribers here at Wholesale Ted have definitely noticed and told me that they are sometimes, disturbed by the, interesting comments that I receive literally every day here on this channel. I'm a lot more used to it now, but I didn't always used to be. You see, as my subscribers will know, here on this channel, I make educational videos and tutorials that teach one aspect of internet marketing that I specialize in, which is e-commerce and in particular, dropshipping. And if you'd like to know even more about what I specialize in, which is dropshipping, you can find a link to our free ebook, which you'll find in the video description below. But you see, one of the things about running an e-commerce store is that you're anonymous. No one knows who you are. For years, all I did was run e-commerce stores by myself, and so no one knew who I was or what my gender was since I was hidden behind a computer screen. But it all changed when one day I got the opportunity to attend my first ever mastermind. Most of the mastermind was going to be held in the most beautiful city in all of New Zealand, in my opinion, Queenstown. Masterminds are when a group of successful business owners and entrepreneurs come together in a small group of anywhere from 10 to 80 people to share their secrets, network and learn from each other. Usually for higher level events you need to be making $100,000 a year or more to get invited, but normally people are making way more. During the actual mastermind section, we would all take turns over 3 days giving presentations, sharing our secrets that we'd learnt over the past year. And then we would spend the rest of the time networking and having fun doing things like bungee jumping and skydiving, because Queenstown is one of the adventure capitals of the world. But before we all travelled to Queenstown, we were all going to meet in the city of Christchurch where a couple of parties were being hosted. The first being very Kiwi-esque, a barbecue. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous on my way there. I was 23 at the time and was just making over $100,000 a year, which seems pretty good, yeah, but most people attending were making way more than me. $500,000, $800,000, $1 million, $2 million, $10 million. And so while I was really excited to get to network and learn from people way more experienced than me, I was understandably, a little bit nervous. So I walk into the barbecue being careful to, not be too early, but not be too late as you do. And I quickly noticed that 95% of the attendees of this mastermind were males. And of the 3 women at the mastermind, I was the only one under the age of 30. So not only am I the poorest person in the room, I clearly look and sound very different to everyone else as well. So despite being really shy, I slapped on a smile, got some chicken skewers off the barbecue and a spoonful of potato salad and sat down at a random table that had an empty chair. Now this table featured 3 strangers. Stranger number 1, Alex, one of the other 3 women at the party. Alex is a super cool woman. As I discovered, despite being young herself, just 30 years old at the time, she'd been in the industry for many years and earned a lot of respect. Stranger number 2, a random guy who I honestly don't remember the name of since I never got to talk to him, so we'll call him Rando. And stranger number 3, an individual who, if I name, friends of mine will recognise, so we'll call him Mr. M. So almost immediately after I sit down, Mr. M turns to me as he says, "Hey you, what's your name?" And at this point, honestly, I'm just glad that someone is talking to me. "Hi there, I'm Sarah. It's great to meet you all. What are all of your names?" So everyone tells me their name and I'm starting to relax. People are actually talking to me. It's going okay. But then Mr. M turns to me and he's like, "So Sarah, is it? Well, I've got a question for you, Sarah." And so since I'm new around here, I assume that he's going to ask me what I do. And I've been preparing my little speech about who I am and what I do. So I think that I got this covered. I'm cool. And he's like, "So Sarah, my question for you, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a smaller penis or do you prefer a fuller penis?" I don't even know this guy. And the first thing he asks me is that. Well, Rando at the table, he just starts laughing nervously, whereas Alex is clearly not impressed. "What a ridiculous question," she says. "No, I think it's a fair question," he said very seriously. "Not everyone likes a bigger penis." And so at this point, Alex just gets up from the table and leaves. And so Mr. M turns to me again. So Sarah, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a smaller penis or do you prefer a fuller penis? I just kind of got it from the table while Rando continued to laugh nervously because I had no idea what to say. And believe it or not, he actually found me later in the night and asked me the same question in front of other people again. Safe to say, I didn't have the best evening after that. But a couple of days later, it was time to fly to one of my favourite places in the world, Queenstown, to continue the mastermind. And while my subscribers here at Wholesale Ted know I love planes, I especially love this flight. It's gorgeous. And so I was like, I'm not going to let this guy get me down. I'm just going to forget about it and have a great time. The day after we all arrived in Queenstown, we had an amazing dinner schedule. What you do is you first hop on an old steamboat and you ride it across Lake Wakatipu until you reach a little peninsula, where you then get to have a delicious buffet featuring New Zealand cuisine. And I was actually walking along this part of the boat here, and Mr. M was sitting right there. And he had a bunch of guys who were clearly his friends sitting around him, all drinking, laughing and chatting. All these people were very successful and very smart, and prior to attending this mastermind, I had hoped to become friends with people like this, just like Mr. M was. Of course, I was quickly realizing that this was probably not going to happen anytime soon. Now at this point, I had a dilemma. I was walking in their direction. Would I continue to walk past or turn the other way? I didn't want him to know that I was bothered about the other night. Maybe he didn't mean it. Maybe he was drunk. Big mistake. As I'm walking past, Mr. M turns to his entourage and says, "Hey guys, check this out, okay?" And he looks at me and he says, "Sarah, I have a question for you. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a smaller penis? Or do you prefer a fuller penis?" Literally making hand gestures like this. At this point, not only do I know for sure, but he is just trying to be a jerk because I am a woman and I am new and I am young, but I was utterly mortified because the people next to him who I'd been hoping would all accept me apparently found my humiliation very funny and laughed at me. Safe to say, I didn't have the best dinner after that. When I got back to the hotel, I started to really wonder if I should be there. Was it a mistake? Should I just go home? I decided to stay though and just learn my lesson that I should just avoid Mr. M and his friends. And I successfully did that and funnily enough started to have a much better time. And it was all going great until I got myself into a situation where I couldn't avoid him any longer. See, it was the first day of the actual mastermind where everyone would take turns standing up in front of the group, sharing their secrets that they'd learned over the past year. It was actually here at this hotel that we held the mastermind. It was in a small little conference room and I was really excited. So as I'm about to walk into the mastermind room, I see it. Mr. M and his friends are literally standing right by the only door into the room. And so I wait and they don't move and they just keep standing there and I think, oh no, I've got no choice. I am going to have to walk past them. But I was feeling a little bit different inside this time. Instead of nervousness, I was actually kind of angry. Most of the people at the mastermind had been nice, and I was starting to enjoy it. Why did these guys have to just pick on me even though they didn't know me because of my gender and my age? And so I was like, whatever. I walked towards the door and surprise, surprise, Mr. M turns to me and grins. "Hey guys, check this out, okay?" He says, looking at me. Sarah, I've got a question for you. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a smaller penis? Or do you prefer a fuller penis? His friends all laugh at me, of course, and at this point, I'm just angry. In the past, when he asked me, I was so mortified that I didn't say anything, but this time, without even thinking, I blurted out, I have no comment to that question, I have nothing to say. But do you think he gave up? Oh, no. You can't say that. You can't have nothing to say. You must have a preference. It's impossible not to have a preference on something. And so I'm like, oh, it's impossible to not have a preference. Oh, well then, Mr. M, tell me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a smaller penis? Or do you prefer a fuller penis? And his friends started laughing at him. And he's protesting that he doesn't have a preference at all. And I just walk on by into the conference room. And needless to say, he never asked me that question again. And I had an amazing time for the rest of my trip in Queenstown. So what's it like being a woman in business? Well, frankly, I don't really feel like I have to go into a big spiel about the ups and the downs because I think that story pretty much sums it up. Thanks for watching this video, and well, I'm sure it's probably going to be one of my more controversial ones. If you liked it, please subscribe and click that little notification bell next to it so that you don't miss out on any of our videos.